Hello and welcome to the CottageCutz YouTube channel. My name is Lynn, or LV Handcrafted, here on YouTube, and I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. I'm starting to think ahead to Valentine's Day, so I've picked out some different dies. I have two Slimline dies here. Wasn't sure which one I was going to use at first. This one's really lovely because it's actually got the heart apertures and it's got the XO, hugs and kisses etched into the side there. This one's super cute too. It does have the scalloped heart, but it is really general purpose because these lift flaps here, there's three that are cut in and they have a little thumb notch. They're cut on three sides and scored on the fourth. So that's the one that we'll be using today because I want the opportunity to decorate the outside of the flaps and the inside of the flap. I have Valentine Cottage, which I love having a variety of cottages because I feel like they are more or less scaled well to mix and match with each other. So now that I have a few, it's going to be even more fun to mix and match things like the windows and the doors and the fencing and stuff like that. So I really think that each time you pick up a cottage, it really gives new life to all of your previous ones. We have Valentine phrase and more. We also have here love my dog, love my cat, and that one, both of those I'll be using today. And then I have this one, Cup of Love. I'm using this one today too. You can make these teacups. They can be coffee cups, maybe a cup of hot cocoa. And there's lots of different ways to dress these cups up, including two different options for the handles, different decorations, and a lot of small bits that you can use to decorate the cup or maybe even use as confetti for shaker cards. This one's super cute, love letters. I didn't end up using this one, but I do love it. And then we have two words with shadow. I love the word dies that come with the shadow because sometimes, just depending on the background, you might need that extra bubble layer to make your sentiment legible. I thought I was going to use the word love, but I did instead choose the word love from Valentine phrase and more. So I've got everything cut out and ready to assemble here. This is my card base. It's a Slimline card base. So this started at 7 inches by 8.5, and along the 7-inch edge I scored at 3.5. That does give me a nice white border where my card base is still going to be visible once I layer on the Slimline lift flap die cut. And I don't want white on the inside. I actually want pattern paper to show. So I'm going to just mark the corners of my frame here so that I know where to place my pattern paper. And I did cut this so that it's actually smaller than the red layer, and that way when I go to attach the layer on top of this, I don't have to be super duper precise. So it's still going to all get hidden and is way larger than I need it to be, but that gives me a little bit of wiggle room when I go to place the next layer. And then on the back of this, even though I'm not making a shaker card, which you totally could, you could totally make each of those aperture openings a shaker well, an individual shaker well if you wanted, or you can make the whole thing have one shaker well. But I won't be doing that, but I still wanted to use some foam. So I cut thin strips of foam, and this is it's about 2mm thick foam. So not super thick, but enough to have some dimension there. And you'll see that does come in handy a little bit later, as well as I go to decorate the inside of each of these frames. And even though this was double-sided foam tape, I squiggled on a little bit of liquid adhesive. That just gives me a little bit of wiggle room when I go to put this down in case I need to nudge it around a little bit to get it precisely in the spot that I want. So I'm going to give everything a good burnish just to make sure it's well stuck down. And now with the basic card complete, I can just decorate. So I'm going to start off with the Cup of Love here. And the cool thing about the cup is that it actually has a slit cut into it. So if you're using it the way that I'm using it, you can actually tuck the whipped cream right inside there. And it gives it a really nice, clean finish. And then you can have all of this be a single piece that you can decorate and place. This heart, I think, is super adorable, and it's one of the options that you can use as a handle on your cup. But I decided I wanted to use it as a little bit of decoration for the design of the cup, and I'll use the other handle option that we get in the die set. So I love that we get the two options, and they're both really curvy and ornate, but one of them is a full heart. It's a very stylized heart, so I think it's really adorable, and I love that one serves kind of double duty. You can use it in two different ways. Then on the other two, under the other two flaps, I'm going to use the Love My Dog, Love My Cat, and this set is super adorable. So you get all of the individual words, which is fantastic, but then you also get two paw print options. You have a plain heart, which you can layer with a heart that has the paw print cut out of it, or you can use just the paw print by itself. So really fantastic, and there's even little silhouette dog and a little silhouette cat. So if you want to win the Love My Dog, Love My Cat die set, then leave a comment, like this video, and be sure to subscribe to the CottageCutz YouTube channel. And when I release my next video, you can check out that video to see if you've won. So really kind of CottageCutz to offer this giveaway, and the Love My Dog, Love My Cat is one of my favorite sets because a lot of my friends are pet owners and like me, love their fur babies. So that's why I thought this would be a really fun Valentine Day card, especially for just showing our love for our fur babies. And sometimes, some of your friends may not have a special someone in their life at that particular moment, but it's still lovely to send them a little something in the mail to let them know that they are loved, and that we all appreciate that they put love out there. So I thought this would be a really fun card for a friend of mine. She is married, but but I do know that she loves her fur babies, and so she'll love this card. And so that's the set that CottageCutz will be giving away. So be sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to this channel. So I'm going to continue to decorate, and the cup fits really, really perfectly within the frame here. One of the things that I know was a comment on one of my CottageCutz videos on my channel was how do we work with the CottageCutz dies, because they're all on a single plate like this. And I love that the CottageCutz dies are designed this way, because there are some really small elements, and instead of having a lot of little dies that you might lose or misplace, everything is on a single die plate, so it's really, really easy to keep track of everything. And there's two ways that I generally use. So one is I just cover up the element that I want. So often I can find a bit of scrap paper, some solid color cardstock, and just cover up. Let's say if I wanted something in the middle, I could cut it down even smaller and just put a bit of cardstock over the element that I want to use. So that's mostly what I've done with the elements that I used on this card. And then the other way that I often use the CottageCutz dies is I'll die cut the entire plate out of white. And when I'm doing that, I'll often line my white cardstock with some double-sided adhesive because it's a larger area that's easier to get adhesive entirely on the back of it. And then I'll die cut the entire plate and then color each of the elements the color that I need it to be. So by putting the double-sided adhesive on the back of it, you have essentially stickers. And so it's really, really nice to take that option, because the other really nice thing about having all of your die cut elements so compact on a single plate like this is that you get a very efficient cut. So, because there's no way you would be able to place individual dies that closely together. So it's a very efficient use of cardstock to do it that way. And plus, because of all the metal on the back, you always get a really, really clean, nice cut, no matter how small or intricate the elements are. So really, really fantastic quality, the CottageCutz dies. And as you'll see in a moment when I give you this final close-up look, the fact that my foam was cut a little bit more thin than the frame, especially for that last panel, I was able to kind of tuck some of those elements behind the frame. So it gives it just that little nice organic look, where some of the elements are a little bit cut off, but that gives me a little bit more room to actually fit all of those elements into each of those little scenes. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to leave a comment, and be in for a chance to win the Love My Dog, Love My Cat die set from CottageCutz. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!